Yada, when, Viniyatam, particularly disciplined, Chittam, the mind and its activities, Atmani, in the transcendence, Eva, certainly, Avatisthate, becomes situated, Nishpruha, devoid of desire, Sarva, for all kinds of, Kamebhya, material sense gratification, Yukta, well situated in yoga, Iti, thus, Uchyate, is said to be Tada, at that time. Translation: when the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplined his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. Purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Sorry, Mataji.
Yeah,
Could I say something from this verse?
yes, sure, Prabhu.
Yogi,
Yeah.
practice of yoga, and mental discipline. Uh, Krishna is talking about these points. Sometimes non-devotees blame us. You have too many restrictions.
Mm.
I say to them, indeed, yesterday I was saying this to one person. Not that he was arguing, but I was just telling him. I was trying to preach that person,
Mm.
and I was telling him, and we say no. Restriction is everywhere. I told that person, take an example of student. When parents send him to students, he doesn't go to college or school, go to cinema hall,
Mm.
comes home, does like that every day. At the end of year, 2 year, 3 year, what he will get? Nothing. And what he will be like in future, or she will be like in future. That's one example. And I gave another example. There are people, material people, karmi people, walking in a tight rope and doing all these performances. A dancer has to dance, all these things. So mental discipline is required everywhere,
Mm.
not only in Krishna consciousness. So I tell them, where it can you show me one thing where mental discipline is not required? Even
Mm.
when you drive for your pleasure, you have to be mentally disciplined, and
Mm.
otherwise you can't reach your destination. So don't, please do not think that. I tell those all these outside people, please do not think mental discipline or discipline restriction is required only here. Even
Mm.
if you don't control water, volume of water, you can't produce electricity. If you don't confine the amount of air, you can't produce the some that electricity from the air also. So there is restriction we have to follow, and there is discipline required everywhere. A president cannot be president. A prime minister cannot act properly as a prime minister when there is lack of discipline. Not only in spiritual field, it is the
Yeah.
essential in all the fields.
Yeah. Very.
Just wanted to add this.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I heard, like even, in the modern professions, like I was hearing, when the models and all these actors, and they have to even discipline, like they cannot eat too much, certain amount, and exercises and all these things. So they all have to, for the, in their certain professions, there are, like you mentioned, but that was very good point, that yes, everywhere in every field, mental discipline is required.
Exactly. How can a pilot become pilot? He
True.
can't fly the airplane if he didn't maintain discipline to achieve that qualification. So it's very, and then why you want to be free like monkey when you expect
Mm.
to be free like monkey in devotional service. in spirituality. Oh, in ISKCON you have this and that. You Hare Rama, Hare Krishna people, you do and that. You don't eat this that. But how can you for you? You are saying everywhere else you have to maintain discipline,
Mm.
and only in here, if you want to get something, why you don't have to maintain the discipline? So isn't it? So we just want to
Because people take spirituality very cheaply, that's why.
exactly.
Because in a spirituality, you can do whatever you like. So that's what. Okay. And becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. Okay. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The activities of the yogi are distinguished from those of an ordinary person by his characteristics, cessation from all kinds of material desires, of which sex is the chief. A perfect yogi is so well disciplined in the activities of the mind in that he can no longer be disturbed by any kind of material desire. This perfectional stage can automatically be attained by person in Krishna consciousness as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, so here in yogis, they have to, to perform and, like spirituality, they have to train their mind and, yeah, they have to become very mentally strong. And when they are mentally strong, they're, like any material desires doesn't come to them and that does not agitate them. But for that they have to perform so many austerities, and it takes, I think, years to come to that perfection. But in Krishna consciousness, by following the principles, like it's automatically, we get all these qualities. Like he says, a perfectional stage can automatically be attained by person in Krishna consciousness. So you don't have to endeavor, specially and s- yeah, like you do yoga and all these things. You don't have to do that. In Krishna consciousness, is automatically it is being covered.
And one thing
Yeah.
very difficult in Ashtanga yoga is you have to leave your house. You have to go to
Mm.
what place is called
In
in
the forest.
yeah, that place where nobody else can go can come. You are not disturbed by anybody. In isolation, you have to go somewhere very far from your home, things like that. And
Mm.
I think we have only hardly 3 minutes, so we will not read further. We'll continue next week. So
Okay.
we use those 2 3 minutes. If anybody else has anything to say, any questions, any comments, anybody, please unmute and share.
Yeah, I can say for the yogi,
Yes,
it's
please.
yogi's life is very, very difficult. It's very austere. Like you say, they have to go into the isolation and no, not enough clothes in any weather. They are being outside, not enough food, whatever little, like roots and fruits, whatever they get. So they have to go through so much trouble to attain the perfection. Yeah, so that's what I can add. Okay,
Yes.
if anybody else want to add, please.
Anil Prabhuji, yes, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I want to just, if you have time, I can just share one experience of mine
Yes, please. We have
regarding the
two,
sleep. Regarding the
yeah,
sleep,
we have the budget of 2 minutes. I don't want
yeah.
to
Just
go over it.
I'll try to finish it quickly.
Thank you so much.
So, in my college time, as my done my BCom, there used to be a lot of coursework we have to finish, and there was very less time. So I had a friend of mine who used to sleep only 2 hours a day. In 24 hours, he used to sleep only 2 hours. He used to sleep at 2 a.m. in the night, and she got up. He always got up at 4 a.m. And he told me that, Anil, if you want to finish your coursework, you have to come to my room, and we can together study, because he knew that I can help him in doing the coursework, and he can help me in staying awake. And when I went to his room, around 12 o'clock, I was feeling very sleepy. I said, I can't stay awake. He made a coffee and everything. He tried to keep me awake by all means. And when it was 1 o'clock, my sleepiness gone away, and I was very awake then. Then we keep on studying at 2 o'clock, because it was his time to sleep. He gets sleepy. Then I said, I'm not sleeping now, so you should have awake with me. But when, around 2:30, 3 o'clock, we both slept. And then in the morning, he was disturbed. He said, oh, it's 6 a.m. in the morning. I can't imagine. Because his sleep pattern was disturbed. He slept an extra hours, and he was disturbed by that. He said, I only used to sleep 2 hours, but today I slept at 3 o'clock, and it's 6 o'clock I'm getting up. It's very disturbing. So it's a habit, a sort of habit as well. If you have a particular sleep pattern, if you disturb that, then everything is disturbed.
Thank you so much for sharing, Anil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. So we will end this session here. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to
Hare Krishna everyone.
Obeisances, request to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.